Good morning. Oh. Oh, interesting. This only has the 4 basic ones. No, I haven't actually looked at the trophy count. I haven't gotten too much farther. It has these, though, and these aren't actually that significant, except as much as it leads to other stuff. So I've been watching somebody else who's starting to kind of get around the same place. Still not been too curious about the treasure trove yet. But they have been going through a bunch of blue notes. And like I'll accept, like, you know, the odd missing room from that kind of thing. You know, like grade 5, it's just gonna be a pain to get to. I know what to do. Right, everything's down a little bit. For this, we need you. So between the things they were trying on the crest, and then me looking at, you know, comparing my own notes just to kind of go along, I was noticing, like, they're trying a different set of operations. I'd kind of gotten stuck on trying to use the gem colors as hints for the operations. But different color could mean that we require non-repeating, which is consistent with this example as well as with Denny's little stupid conspiracy theory thing. And the coloring way of writing things does kind of require that at least you have non-consecutives of the same operation. But this does... And with those numbers, it kind of requires you to end up with 53, I think. And then we had a leaky chatter the other day. So we kind of know that that's probably a vault box. Now, I pointed key 8 at all of the vault boxes that sum to 8. So we might also have to have 8 on the throne counter. The other thing I got thinking about, and I kind of forgot about that until now, along with a lot of other things. But the other day I was wondering, what if you aimed the secret garden at some of the stuff on the outside the east wing? Would you like that up inside the garden? Red Prince manuscript. No, Blueprint's manuscript. In this image, these guards are like out in the middle of the thing. And let's see. Yeah, so this one, they're at the sides of the throne. And I don't even know if they're in the published one. They are in different positions in the published one. So this is more like the actual throne room. This is more like the guards that I've shown in the picture with little tassels on them. I don't think the ones in the actual throne room have the tassels. So when you look at the throne room, the throne room almost has a 4x4 grid, which is the thing we see in the boiler room. And I've long been wondering about if there's a second use for wind-up keys, so maybe these are like kind of like wind-up automatons. And of course, the thing we got to down there means that there is always a wind-up key available. Alright, we have Monk currently. We have Boiler Room outside. I don't think we have any prerequisites we need to... Oh, actually, we rolled a Freezer last time. So if we can get Study, we're in a pretty good position to go for Vault, Gallery, Throne Room. We have Mantle of the Night, though, so we can't call blue. Oh, this is a gem room. Okay, so since you have a door... Okay, it's just rubble. It's not that hard of a door, I guess. Where did I put my list of outside rooms? So I don't know if our direction's going to matter. It's all rubble. I guess if anything, forward. Although this is the position it goes here, and this is its default position, so maybe that too. That's a tough one. Just maybe the thing that requires an action would make more sense. So this is more like just to have it here. I don't know if it had anything to do with power and direction. Does that make sense? But... Actually, the lighting is even worse in here. If we're looking at these things. That power? Oh, that's the alternate power for the door. Interesting. We just can't actually transit between them. Ooh, which means in that position, you could actually cut through there. But to power that, we'd have to cut off that, so... we can power the elevator. Oh, geez, we have sauna too. Oh, I have the Royal Scepter. It's in blue. Okay. We got these from here. And I must have had a thing that also hit Royal Scepter. Or a locket that also hit Royal Scepter? Or it kept one of these things and they can't double up. Okay, that's still empty. We need to have a little bit of water back. Somebody else was saying, look down here. But all I see is gears. Of course, they're not really connected to anything. Are they excavating the gears themselves? Unless it's supposed to be running out and running the shaft there. Maybe brightness? I usually have my monitor brightness pretty low. Yeah, I don't know if I can actually see what they were excavating, unless it's like this thing is what they were, this big shaft, what they're excavating, but like it doesn't seem to serve any purpose outside of the puzzle. There is a light spot over there, which almost suggests something, unless it's just they didn't properly cover their angles. Art-wise. Yeah, I don't really see anything. Oh, there is a big gear down there that I never noticed. Does it have more, maybe that's what that stuff's supposed to be interacting with? Or interfacing with to turn it? Don't see any other platforms from here. It's not exactly the same toothing either. Of course, we're hoping to have throne room, but we're down here anyway. I'm just kind of generally checking out if the power or the one thing rotating does anything. These doors are still closed. Yeah, I guess it is generally kind of hard to see that gear. Yeah, I only see the one gear. I don't actually see it interfacing with anything. There's just a bit of a bulge there. I mean, some of that could be shadows, but that is actually something sticking out. Yeah, nothing connects directly to that. From the other angle, there was definitely a white spot. Maybe those are like completely different models, actually. And just completely solve keys, so that's not a problem. We just don't have the study yet. And I guess I could actually use that to put down the scepter for a while. Let's see, so we don't need the treasure trove because we've got the scepter. We need throne room, study, and gallery. So I guess those are all blue rooms. I don't think we actually need laundry this time. Maybe I should be trying to draft blue rooms to thin out the pool. Okay. Now we have X's, which aren't consistent between different spots. It's like they custom drew each one. $13, $12. Well, 12 divided by 7 doesn't work. Oh, but inverted, so 21 divided by 7 does. This would give us an extra key. I could kind of do with branches right now, though. We're not going to freeze today, but I'm already good on everything. I guess this is a common room that's going to keep coming up. Even though we don't need it. I have seen, at least in some other people's games, like Broken Leopard could spawn over there. Even more money. I don't know what we would need even more money for. You're also a common room that's going to keep coming up. We'd rather have you closer to Foundation. You're also a common room that's going to keep coming up. I really kind of want to know what that entrance hall is going to do now. Alright, we have no rerolls right now. So maybe we actually want to do that. And unfortunately, I need to take a small break. I want you to come back. Okay, currently security is one of the things that will definitely stop us. Ah. Cannot delete announcements remotely. So we could try to save that for unlocked doors. We'd have to actually draw a laboratory and then do a bunch of experiments, though. I don't know. I don't know of any experiments that would be directly relevant to our current situation. I mean, I guess we could like try to like build up stars or something. Yeah. That's another way out there. I don't really love how lopsided we're being here. Where do we end up? We were going up into a T. Well, a bunch of things here would be full stop. This just eliminates security cards as an issue. Now, we have a master key. So actually we probably do want to leave it low so we have more opportunities to use keys if we have special doors. Lots as many doors. And gets a common room out of the way. We don't have study yet, though. Yeah, I think I did make laundry comments, so maybe if we get a good spot for it, we should draw that. We can fix darkroom, it's just a long walk. It's also a position we can probably just ignore it. Okay, so there's the actual laboratory. And if we did some walking, we could try to fill in that corner. But we've already solved the locked doors, so that whole thing is... Actually, having solved this... Probably could have just done an experiment anyway. We have limited redraws right now. That would solve the dark doors problem, but not the not the hidden item problem. You're more likely to get in my way. I mean, I guess you could have, like, running shoes or something. You're also a few steps. I want to burn up our passageways too soon. Unfortunately, everything is mutual with security right now. Yeah, we have other things on all of these places. We do still have weight room out there. Oh, this will actually connect me over here to the utility closet, so maybe that would be a good place. I don't know if it's gonna be a locked door for a silver key. That could be getting closer to foundation. Well, we still have the chapel. And I guess we can actually come up through the foundation. So we have one door over here. I don't know if either of these are locked. Okay, we do have emergency redraws now. If we're gonna get absolutely stopped. Still don't have study. That's not too bad to hook around there. Something going up would be nice. Let's see, we can make electromagnet, but none of the rooms we're seeking are mechanical. Oh, I can't bring it up unlocked, okay. I don't necessarily want unlocked doors. Being able to connect that could be nice. We still have weight room hiding out there. Aww. This is ultimately more useful to my objectives, even though the connections are nice. So now we can just kind of, like, reroll once on anything to try to get the rooms we're interested in. Because we need... vault, throne room, and gallery. Let's see, opening the doors would not be a problem. Laboratory. Alright, we have half the house left, so it's not going to be 40 that we could spend. Although some of them will require gems as well. Maybe more like maybe 20. Yeah. This would be kind of close to the foundation if I wanted to do something. Okay, we could do... Take care of anything. I probably want steps more on this one, though. We might have 100 by the end of this. So we're not going to get gallery here. I just need to... I should just have a little note. Throne, gallery, vault. Several of those could go... Well, 2 of those could potentially go here. Okay, also potentially useful. Yeah, we're fine getting more stars. I really don't anticipate needing that. Texture... Oh, I guess there's like supposed to be some raised sections of the wall. Wine cellar is suspicious, but I don't think we directly need it for today. Forever back though, we can turn power back on. Okay, not the attic. Okay, gallery is one of the things we want. Oh shoot, we need throne room with enough time to draw 8 blue rooms. I don't know if we're gonna have time. Ah, it's not locked. Maybe I need to redraw more aggressively for that. The vault is another one we wanted. And we're going to have to redraw heavily to get to some of our other places. You. Sneaky, sneaky. You have to click on it. So I should have been clicking on all of them, and I would have actually got it before. My obsession with ciphers was renewed after my brother died. Curious Square. My mother's. Containing traces of my brother's fruitless attempts over the years to decipher this grid. It's a bittersweet find. The excitement I felt was tempered by memories of the unique bond my mother and brother always shared. I was a child with an interest in puzzle and wordplay. This cryptic gift. Out of respect to my late brother, it became clear after spending time poring over his notes that he was not very suited to this challenge. Occasionally, some was on some promising ideas, but none of them were thoroughly pursued. I will give him credit, however, is the extensive research he conducted, coming through a career's worth of our mother's notes and correspondence. A letter my mother had written to a... it was kind of watching somebody else. And like they were just trying a bunch of, to me, weird mathematical combinations. And I have to get back to the page. So I started looking at my own notes. And it was like, hey, that says a different color, which could be read as they have to be not repeating. And this did the sneaky thing where it requires you to click without a prompt. So if I'd been doing that, I could have actually solved it the other day. Just, you know, not solving it, but opening the thing. In the discovery of a letter, my mother... A local professor. I thought that was to Mrs. Peterson, but I don't remember. No, yes, this is a different letter. Interesting. The only shred of evidence in her belongings that mentioned this project. As for me, I am ashamed to admit that despite all my boasting, I have nothing to show for nearly 3 decades of effort. No closer to solving this than I was in those early months of daily obsession. Now, with each passing year, I fear my chances of reaching the satisfying conclusion of this adventure grow ever slimmer. This is the first time we've heard anything about Simon. And it's not even like they're going to say what happened to him. Some might say this outcome is quite fitting. Poetic justice for tormenting my readers for so many years with seemingly impossible bafflers. Certainly relate to their frustrations. I wonder if we really need to obtain answers to all of life's questions. So we always quench our thirst for knowledge. At my age, I often find myself looking back at the long path behind me, and I think I am content to leave a few stones unturned. Life without some mysteries, life without imagination. So I'll lay down this burden and leave this stone, and the winding path of intrigue it proceeds for future generations to explore. Oh my goodness. So I guess we'd have to call this letters. So that relates to a thing about cores, but I don't know how to apply that to words. They are all four-letter words. We're sure nothing else is in here? So that thing is the family core? Family core is kept in the family vault, unlocked by the sum of its digits. That doesn't seem to suggest anything else about this puzzle itself. Oh, we do have a magnifying glass, thankfully. I should double check my list, see if we've got any of our remaining little things for that anywhere. Magnifying glass. Okay, so one thing we could potentially do. Additional material for use in the creation of a cryptograph. Okay, this might be the first mention we've had of something specifically written by Orve. So we could potentially take that to other things. Some of these feel like very much words from the game, and others don't. Like, I don't think it's been towed anywhere. Toad and Road are one letter different. Why is it a grid? Ooh. If you looked between the words, you would get a 4x4 grid. I still want to find throne room for various things. So Toad and Road are kind of interesting. I don't know if I've seen any others that are that close. Well, male and maid. But what would the difference of those mean? My mother's handwriting. Any traces of my brother's fruitless attempts that they used to decipher this. After my brother died, my mother and brother always shared. She bequeathed this cryptic grift. Right, we saw the response to a letter, not the letter itself. Probably not the best tool for this, but it'll work. Maybe that's too sharp. Is that the vase and safe are one letter different, but they're reordered? So maybe that could be a thing. All right, nothing else has double L's. So that would have to connect to a single L somehow. Is there, well, and have a W? If we're talking about single letter differences? There's not a lot of W's. Unless we're doing the Rajan thing of flipping things and it's actually an M. I mean, the only way I could see making this mathematical would be to, do 1, 2, 3, 4 alphabet. And, like, get a numeric core of each, but then you have numbers, and, like, do you then translate those numbers back to letters? I kind of want this to be more of an offline project. No, actually, this is the direct one. I'm Clay. I don't know if this is one of those things where it's like every lever appears so many times in every row and column. Yeah, because there's only one L in this column. I guess you could, like, sort of net that out as saying what's different about each one. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how you're getting that. Unless you're talking about, like, this is, like, weird poetry or something. Ah. Yeah, it's just supposed to be really old. Alright, this is the only J in the entire thing. So I guess another possibility would be like unique letter in each row and column. This is the only J in the entire thing. So there's two S's. Ooh, okay. So there's only one P there. Only one P there. Two I's there. We got two A's. Got two S's. We got two D's. Two M's, two A's, two I's, two L's. Yep, that seems to kind of trash that theory. Yeah, peak and heat are pretty close, but not quite. K's are also pretty rare. So if it's like a connection chain, then you can't have. Well, I guess if you were doing rearranging, oh no, there's a rock, but that's like very different from peak. Yeah, the request the professor suggests cores, but why don't we kind of used cores to get here? I guess that would also set up a prerequisite to be familiar with the concept. But yeah, going to like number of the letter in the alphabet is like kind of the only thing I can think of there. And of course, we have the long tradition of letter missing. But the connections seem kind of scattered. Now, we do have the whole, like, what if it's a 4x4 type of thing? But, like, how would you get one letter out of 4 words. Yeah, there's not much else with 2 E's. And there's not a lot of T's in general. T-E, T-E. I think it's the T. That's all multiple letters off. And date. Hand and head. Wait, does that mean D-A-E? So you're actually kind of connected to both of those. If we allow rearrangement. And then hand and sand is a direct. But then why does the arrangement matter if we're just making these arbitrary connections? It's probably the only V down in vase too. No, this is. Oh yeah, A S E. Pigs and legs. No, that's 2. We just got GS and a vowel. Yeah, so I don't know if there's really anything I can do with this in-game right now. There's nothing specific to test. It's just going to be a lot of staring. Which, I mean, wait, heat, head. Which, has that sort of like by extension. ATE, ATE. Wait, does that mean... Yeah, it's like if you have a direct connection between two things, that means you don't necessarily have the direct connection. But tape, ATE, ATE. Which does hand, not hand is too different. Clay and Joya are probably our only Ys. There's a YA in there, but that's kind of about it. Yeah, you're one of our only Ys and our only J. So I don't know if we're really going to get like any kind of chain. Everything in this column has an A. Okay, well the E doesn't carry through, and I don't know if we're going to get anything else. It's everything except rock has an E. Oh, you know what? Shoot. I was not being careful with this. Oh, this is a very large threshold right now. Oh, we're selected on this one. Okay. Kind of managed to rescue it. I didn't realize there was no point to move it either. Rock and Road are close. But yeah, it's like our only real hint was the query to the professor. So the indirect reference to chords, we kind of needed to... you kind of needed to get here. We do still have several classrooms and some second profile rooms to get notes from. Well, it all kind of feels like it's several things in that layer of the game are leading us to this. So I don't know if we're going to have clues for this itself. Unique bond my mother and brother had always shared. We also know that Simon had gone and done something similar to the Crown Heist. Just nothing says what. That would be mathematical cores, though. And this didn't end up requiring a throne room. You know, it kind of requires blue notes. The crust numbers wouldn't naturally be broken down that way. And I probably only got Vault Box because of leaky cheddars. Or the specific Vault Box, which made me come back and try clicking it again. It's a shame I was clicking so fast, though. Did that actually use up key 8? Nope, that one stayed. It's like you could just turn letters into numbers, get the cores of those. Maybe those are more letters. Why would it be a grid then? I guess it could then turn into a grid that could be read multiple ways. That is a process, though. Maybe that would even be enough to write a little program for it. Well, I guess not entirely. It might be helpful for converting things to numbers, but I don't know. A program for finding cores might be a little bit more involved. Which leads me back to maybe the detailed thinking of this is better done off stream. It does end up just being a lot of staring. Now I guess like writing a program to convert things to numbers, and you then have to. And I don't even know if the numeric coring would be worth a program. Would be a challenge in and of itself. There's only going to be so many permutations, and you can like rule out fractions and whatnot. And I think the point is to take the smallest number, so there should be a unique answer. So I'm torn as to whether the sort of like background bookwork on this is interesting. Of course, as soon as we get any number that, or anything that doesn't resolve to a... Yeah, and if it's just numbers, I don't know what I would do with just numbers. It would have to turn into things less than 26 to have any possibility of meaning. No, and sacred was 6, so it's not going to line up with that. All right, so I definitely need a short break. I may be trying to do the numerical sums is kind of the only way I have to attack this right now. But I'll be back in a minute. All right. Anyway, with some place with some atmosphere right now. The vault's pretty quiet. The gallery's probably pretty quiet. Maybe the veranda would have some outdoor ambience. Oh yeah. Vault of... Hey. No. Not the Vault of Knowledge. I mean, I guess technically we could use... If we got a powered laundry, we could do some shenanigans. Or actually, I could launder my keys into dice since I have... Master key, I forgot about that. Oh, that almost looks like the driveway tree. It's just kind of out here. Interesting. Seems like that's always along the driveway, though. And that tree moves around. Okay, so we have a little thing. our other word list, this folder's fine. We just don't have a reference to it here. I guess that's one way to get an editor up. So for now, we're just working on like simplifying some of the math conversion. Oh, there's a syntax for less syntax. Kinda. Okay, double quoted, single quoted. Escape sequences? No. That's kind of an array literal. String array literal, yeah. Oh, although that's with spaces. I mean, that would sort of work. It would just be messy. Or maybe it'll be all. Maybe it's all white space, so we could just type out the grid. Okay, that. Oop, we typoed something. Okay, so that gives us a list of words. We'll have to like turn them back into their appropriate places later. All right, so Okay, that does not... what we wanted. That does what we wanted. And then for each... Okay, definitely not that. Okay, so this is a Ruby reference. No, this is access modes. That was under file, actually. I thought I clicked classes. That's where I've seen it. This is about right. ASCII only. I don't know if bytes is quite right. Oh, we could just do each car. Instead of split. Oh, I don't know if that would do a map. But technically, this could be a character thing, but I think characters are just single strings. Complex object. The first character. An integer value for a character. For ASCII, that might actually just be it. Seems about right. And then we need... I mean, this is probably... Well, a lot of these methods... Oh, okay, so bytes. Well, bytes code points are probably very similar. I don't know if we can actually get down to a character. ASCII 8-bit encoding. Byte index. Okay, another way to split the characters. Alright, if we want to subtract this, we actually want to, like, add 1. If we do a minus a, we get 0. All right, you're not an argument. Okay, so 96. I guess we have to check one of them manually. We probably want to. Yeah. Okay, well. Okay, P15. Ooh. Oh, this is a 0. Oh. Is it 0 based or is it 1 based? We kind of have to try both, don't we? Because we don't know what they used. Okay, so that gets us all our numbers. We could probably do it so it prints out a little bit more compact. P is definitely a debugging thing, but... So that puts everything off by 1. Of course, surely you can make some sort of solution out of any of them, right? Where do we want to go? Vault? And I guess it sort of follows from the crest puzzle, but... Well, yeah, all our numbers. Which is really just 53. Although I did have to click a very specific spot for that. Okay, so 35 is kind of out of reach. Okay. Yep, just that one. No, and... I guess these are in numerical order. So we have 15, 8, 6, 18. Or 16, 9, 7, 19. And these are going to get into some larger numbers. Now we could do... So that would be workable. Okay, and that's not. That's solid, but not a digit. Unless, of course, we're doing actual ASCII. In which case, we need to deal with much larger numbers all around. We have any other way to spin that. So it certainly doesn't divide by 9. This is the one-based system, so it cannot be 0. Oh, that was minus. I meant to do... Is that 7 times 7? Didn't think so. Alright, so that's one that works out nicely at 0 base. And at 0 base, that's ABC. This could just be 3. Which is certainly the smallest number possible. I don't know if it's going to give us a useful letter. Yes, there's a lot of ways to spin this one. I think our coring instructions are smallest possible. The smallest whole number possible. So 18 times 0. Oh no, it can't be plus 13. So that's probably 3. No, because we already used multiply. Negative wouldn't make sense. I guess you could do minus... No, maybe that doesn't work. Because you do times is 0... We need to divide somewhere. You can do minus 0. We can't do minus 13. I mean, 0 divided by 13 would be 0. And it would be negative 3, so that wouldn't work. Yes, I don't think you work at 1. I don't know if this one works at all. So you could be times or divide. Minus 14 is 5. But then we have to do either the times or the divide. So that would be... well, 20 would be a valid letter. But for that to work, we'd have to find a way for this to work. And if we can't get either of these systems to work for 2 of them, I don't know how it's going to work for any of them. All right, so 18 times 0 is 0. I don't think divided by 13 could be anything at all. So that's just dead. If we do times minus, you get 5, but then you have to divide, and that gets you nowhere. Shouldn't there... No, because once you pick the first operation, there's only 2 ways to flip the other 2. So division is just a non-starter. That is a thing. Minus, division doesn't work. Multiply is a lot, and I don't think divide by 3 would do it. No. So that doesn't work. And 18, no, yeah, then 18 divided by 13 is just a non-starter. And divide by 0 doesn't work. So, yeah, that... Wait, so this is... Yeah, this is... So this one works. This one, I don't see how it can work at all. So we're back to you. So if we start with multiply, we get 144. Divided by 7 is a nope. See, the things I want to use to cross stuff out is the same as the math operations. Nope. So 16 divided by 9 is not going to work. So that only leaves us 16 minus 9 as our first possible thing. So that's 7. Divided would be 1. I would just... actually, that would be 19. Which is S, as we can see there. And then 7 times 7 is 49, but that does not divide by 19, so... Okay, so we have 2 that could potentially work. Is it ST? At a value of 1. So I guess we just want to... or at a 1 base. Okay. 13 times 1 is 13. Doesn't divide by 9. That would have to be minus 9. But then we haven't used our division yet, so no. Times is 13. 13 divided by 9 is no. Unless we then... No, 13.9 is going to be too weird for 12 to fix it, I think. Yeah, and it has to be a subtraction at that point. So divide also gives us 13. Minus gives us 4. And 4 times 12 is going to be more than 8 letters. That theory doesn't really hang out. But that leaves us with 13 times 9. Where did the calculator go? We already used division. So no. Okay, so 13 minus 1 is 12. Um, 12 and 9 are sort of related. No, actually, if we do times and divide, then we just get 9. And then alternately, if we do divide by... Yeah, times 9 divide by 12 gives us 9. Divide by 9... Okay, that gives us 16, but it specifically has to be the smallest number. And 9 is one of our... 9 is... So that's a 19. 20 was not in here, so that's not the same. Is an I. Alright. So we're seeing some ability for these to work out. In a zero-based system it is. And that's the theory we were testing here. Because A 0, B 1, C 2. So this was a theory we were discarding. Because we couldn't get a solution for this one at zero base. I guess I could have written the script and seen, do we get answers? This was kind of like trying to validate if it's worth writing the script to do the rest of them. So now that we've got enough validation that our basic theory might work out, I actually started to do that, and then I found the one table for sort of spot checking it, and it started at 0, so I'm like, well, that's possible. Okay, so that gets us our numbers. Everything is going to have a numbers. And I mean, I guess we can just kind of... It's probably not worth trying to do this fully symbolically. There's 6 combinations to check. Well, okay, so we have the list of numbers. No, yeah, this is on an individual basis. I know, I have to do this 6 times. So this isn't really the way to do this. Well, it doesn't really have a... It doesn't really have a nice way to do this. Okay, not just good reference. This thing was in a syntax area before. This is like internals. Okay, so a star. It's hash. So that's rest. We can't just say AB equals theory. Right, we actually do want to kind of put it back into an array. It seems... Oh, wait a minute. Wait, how? Did I do caps at some point here? No, these are fine. What the heck? -2? So why is destructuring this? Because we used A for A. Alright, so A times B divided by C minus D. A times B minus C. Oh, we're going to need to parenthesize these. So this will be fine. But probably we should get ourselves set up to properly parenthesize everything. Just so it kind of flows. And we can just kind of doop, 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 doop. I think we need one more. Times, minus, times. And then minus, minus, times, divide. Oh. It's not this simple. Because we're probably going to have to guard against division by 0. Oh, well, okay. Maybe that just gave us an AN? No, because it's one base. We should never minus something subtracting to 0. We should never have divide by 0. Okay, so we also... I'm assuming that there's a positive requirement in there. Okay, I guess I took that thing down. Smallest whole number. I'm pretty sure it has to be positive. Ruby might have a method for this, but... that does create a lot of 1s. I don't know if that's going to be useful. Okay, we have a 67. I guess you could try to do like a wraparound on that or something. But that's not very encouraging. And then, of course, you want to convert that back to letters. And like 24s. Well. So I don't, maybe there's a clue I'm missing somewhere that assigns values. Right, it probably is just small text. I don't know if this one's adjustable. Yeah, it is. So maybe I missed a clue somewhere. I just kind of was assuming that, A is 1. And A is 1. The only thing I could think of would be the classroom that has letters and numbers. And I'd have to go look at that to see where that numbering starts. Okay. Yeah, so we've got road is weird. Lots of A's just because it's the smallest number. And of course, now we have to translate this back to our grid. Alright, I'm going to actually want to put this... Actually, I'm going to want to print that without the extra stuff. Oh, actually, I can have this translate too. And do we have a way? Easy. Oh, Oh, does Ruby distinguish? You're right. I didn't filter for partials. So Ruby must do integer division by default. I suppose you're going to have operators. No, this only has logical. This is like methods. Yeah, this is the module again. Yeah, here's math module. No, this is the same thing. Oop. Oh, right, I was starting to type something else out. Wait, why? For int. Oh, because we did min, right. So this is an incomplete thought right now. 1, yeah, okay. So we need floating point division. I mean, this will probably end up answering it. Okay, so we have to 2F everything. Great. ANOVA. And then maybe deal with imprecision. Right, so then we have to do the filter for partials before. How do you do that? Well, yeah, we got. Well, I guess I don't have the actual thing here. We got this. And there was a vague reference to something to do with calculating numeric cores, which we had to do to get this thing. So absent any other idea what to do with it, I'm seeing if you can convert the letters to numbers, make a core, and then convert the numbers back to letters to get a message. And if that doesn't work, I have no idea what to do with it. Acquire math n. Interesting. That is a kind of weird way. Depreciated arbitrary 2. Fractional part of a decimal number. Yeah, this is. I kind of figured you could just check if they were the same. Now, modulo 1, that's kind of what I was thinking. Let's check this without first. Ooh. Wait, why is it complaining about that? For nil. Now, I guess these... Oh, wait. No, we said pigs had a solution. What the heck? There might be some implicit rules of this thing's weird math. Okay, so 16, 9, 7, 19. So maybe, is it doing... What the heck is it doing? So we had said... We expected this to be 19. And what set of operations did we expect to do that? Didn't write that one down, because that would equate to which case is going weird here. Now, I guess this could be one of those weird floating point imprecision cases. And then you can't really do anything with 19 from there. Alright, that makes sense. How do we get 19? Okay, so 69 is going to divide, 16 minus 9 is 7, divided by 7, times 19 is 19. So this should be our last case. So we just need to do... Okay, those are all what we think they should be. But this is becoming negative 18. No, that's minus. We need times... We need minus divide times. Oh, that's because we've got the wrong numbers in here. That might be enough to explain some of the ones as well. And obviously, integers are... their own problem. Okay, I think we're getting an integer in all of these somewhere. Okay, there are no empty lists. And there's not as many ones. Alright, now. What would I even look up for this? This would have to be either a thing on string to create it from a byte, or a thing on number to turn it into an. Now A would be number. Wow, this got fancy. Unfortunately, it's also a little bit messed up. Nope, that's complex. Nope, okay. Could we... Is Ruby crazy enough to do... Nope. Ah. Okay. String can't be coerced into integer. Ah, okay. I see a books. Still water tints blank books. And does this have an alternate reading? Swidibitalo it no letink Lursks. Probably not. Alright, so we've still got a little bit of house to explore. We've got 2 doors. Let's see, we have not run across... Oh, we can redraw past any red rooms. Well, actually, we have multiple ways to deal with red rooms. I mean, I guess the branches could end up being useful. I mean, we really just kind of need the door right now. Although I guess what we're looking for is a turn. This has been a curious room of late. Or just the fact that it's a weird room. But... Oh. Does this show up when it's relevant to something? Okay, so clue was not on here. I don't think. But that would give us a number that would turn into something. I might have closed this. This isn't letters. I don't know where I was putting lost and found stuff. Yeah, that is not exactly... I guess they're expecting you to look at it from here. So that's a little bit of a nudge. Let's see, we do have room 8. I guess that would be allowance. Now, interestingly... Okay, that you can actually use up the keys. So good, this is the good thing I didn't get up there. I guess I cut off 2 rooms, but oh well. think it was this one. I think you were this one. Nope, we had something wrong. Ah, you two. We don't have a great place for multi-doors. It would be sort of okay to actually get weight room there. I guess I could have also tried to save the tank for weight room. But we'd be fine to walk back to the dining room from there. Actually not getting many red rooms. I can certainly deal with Great Hall. I guess we can... okay. Okay, nothing really going on up there yet. I don't know if it really matters where we draw from right now. We don't really need locked doors anymore, but... we do have doors, so I guess it's not a terrible thing. That would technically double our money. I think. Nope. What did I miscount? I don't think we had aquarium. Oh, armory. That one's kind of hiding. That would be some more redraws, but not many doors. Oh. We might be out of water. Do have a kitchen, though. There's a dining room. Dining room's off here. Oh, we do have a boiler. Never did find the throne room, so we didn't see if that did anything. Okay. We have to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't matter. I never drew from here. So, can I... No, I can't... Well, I guess if you're here, it will show you how much. I do wish that this would show you the amount. Oh, yeah, I guess we have tons of money. Okay, that's not going to make a difference. That's not going to make a difference. Yeah, so nothing's house dependent. We never got over to the power box. That won't connect. We could maybe draft this up. Yeah, I wasn't watching, but I have definitely seen that. Oh, and this is why you don't do that. Okay. Not that we need it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hang on to a little money just in case something comes up. We can come back if we want to. We still have that. This will help us out tomorrow. I thought I actually shouldn't be picking up items because of the bucket. Do have magnifying glass, okay. Or do we have to stop sloshing the can? Or do we have to do something with, like, the pool or the reservoir? Now they're actually covered, I guess. Unless this is a trading post thing. And it literally means still water. But that's a different day project. That would make that... I mean, I guess it was sort of justified as an upgrade disk and a contraption. If not something else. Yes, I don't know what else would be still water except that. I did want to look at something here. I don't know if we have anything to draft for. I think it felt like it came in here with a freezer, so we can't get a freezer. What would we even want? I guess tomorrow room stuff. I don't really have a good shot at getting multiple of these, so that's something. And so we want an actual outside room. We're gonna have to not monk something. I mean, I guess that could be something. Probably not. Let's see, so we kind of have to go... kind of equidistant to the Foundation either way. I mean, I could count it out, but we're not so tight on steps it really matters. Alright, so we did kind of pick up some extra stuff. We just need to... compress some things. We do not have the metal detector today. So I think that's all we can do. Oh, I guess I could have tried pushing for throne room. Oh well. Once we had the boiler going and a wind-up key. Is this a little bit far-fetched, considering that since that thing was written, then he actually used the still? So I don't know what would be left in there. But I don't know what else. We would do that would be different. But this is a very difficult item to find. As nice as the master key and whatnot have been. Ooh. Alright, so to keep the scepter, we have to sleep in a room, but we have monk and we need... I guess we don't have to choose the monk thing. It just reduces our options. Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, we can go... We don't have the pump. We don't have the pump room today, so we can't really play without playing with any other water. No, I guess there's water in the shrine too. Oh, the still. Well, I mean, it's not flowing now, but. We still had a fair number of steps. We could go mess around with some odd things. Because I don't know if you have to completely empty it. The still seems pretty still. Oh, yeah, that too. Well, I mean, for a year. But you're saying, but it's flowing. So there must have been something in between. So we did not do aquarium or morning room. Not enough to empty it. Does it? It just seemed like a pool sitting there to me. I guess there's also all the bird baths. Which have always seemed curious, but they do kind of serve as footstep markers. Now, I guess we could still go to the bottom of the reservoir. But that says it gets natural filtration from 2 springs before exiting, so that's debatable. I don't think I'm buying anything else at this point. I guess as long as we're here, I can try on still left water. Unless this is another, like, sacred hour type of thing. Alright, so now our options are, well, primarily outside. Also, one quick moment. I kept expecting to come to a conclusion there, and it's like, well, one more thing. So that's outside, that's underground. If we go through Foundation, we would be able to go down there and see. I always think that's the way down. Well, that was kind of flowing too, doesn't it? But yeah, anything outdoors feel like we just end up picking up outdoor water. But it is relatively still at the moment. Okay. It's a slight edge waiver. Today we have boiler. Doesn't say anything about how full it is. We've got flowing water down there. We got the waterfall. I don't know if you can actually reach the waterfall at all. Yeah, so like the still seems to be like the only thing left. Did that reset it? And I kind of don't want to reduce my options tomorrow. Did we have any like weird outdoor things that probably won't work? Alright, we spent a lot of time working on the problem. And that basically comes down to whether we can get rerolls or just lucky tomorrow. So maybe we can move pretty quick through that.